Good evening, this is Stephanie from Stephanie's Tarot Interpretations. Using a microphone, so I'm hoping, and I did test it before, when I first got it, and it seems to be working, so I hope that my sound is a little bit better. I'm also trying to drown out my washing machine, which tends to be a little bit loud. But hope everyone's doing well, and thank you so much for bringing me over the 100 subscriber mark. That's truly exciting for me. What I want to read about today is Vladimir Zelensky. I want to know if he's going to survive this war, if he's going to, if he, in my opinion, if he passes, he'll be definitely a martyr. It's astonishing his story of he's an actor and a comedian and everything, and now he's president of the country of Ukraine, and he has shown so much strength, so much character, so much care, so much compassion for his people, and he is not leaving. Though perhaps he has, but I mean, he is, for his own safety, he has to be moving around, but he's there. I mean, he's there for his people. He's not shying away from his people. He's talking to them. He's pleading with NATO and the other allies to supply more help. Artillery, planes, blocking airspace, whatever. Truly an admirable man, and I don't know if Vladimir gets jealous or if he has any kind of soul, but I'm being mean. Probably does, and I'm kind of wondering if it's also maybe making him a little crazier, because this Vladimir Zelensky is getting the accolades and not Putin. Plus, Putin poorly planned this whole war or invasion. But anyway, the question is, will Vladimir Zelensky survive this war in Ukraine? Will Vladimir Zelensky survive this war in Ukraine? Will Vladimir Zelensky survive this war in Ukraine? One more shuffle. Will Vladimir Zelensky survive this war in Ukraine? So now let's cut the deck. And the first card, symbolizing the past, the Ten of Wands. Yeah, heavy burden. It's heavy burden. Protecting his country, fighting for his country. It's also, I'm sure, a very heavy burden for the people that are protecting him. They're in the midst of fighting for their lives. And he's carrying the burden. He's trying to shoulder as much of the burden as possible for his people. And I'm sure he's in contact with all the other countries around, Poland in particular, and everything. As far as with, he doesn't. I don't even believe that he needs to even request assistance for his people that are trying to escape across the border. But he's working hard. He's trying to do whatever he can to keep Kiev from falling. Excuse me. They're working on trying to keep the peace. Talking with Putin. Again, I doubt if anything will really come out of that, other than perhaps delays. And that's if it helps to delay anything, then that's better than nothing. So now in the present, and that was the past. So, and tens are generally the end, meaning you're finishing the end. You're finished your job. you've come to the final push, and now it's ending. So let's see what the beginning is. The past. 6 of Cups. This is so adorable, and I always think of my childhood whenever I see this card too, because that's what it is. It's memories of the past, of fondness for the past, yearning for the past, and that's in the present, which is understandable because everybody wants to get back to the way they were living in this crazy world, especially over the last several years, perhaps past decade. It's just been a crazy, crazy world. But he's longing for his country to be the way they were and to be at peace and enjoying life and being happy. And let me see. It's such a beautiful card. Someone giving somebody else flowers. It's comforting and loving, showing, just overall wishing things were back the way they were. Move these over. Future card in the future is the 2 of Swords, which means you're at a crossroads. You have to make a decision. Swords are about the mind, about thinking, about thoughts, about logic, about plans. And there's decisions to be made, big decisions to be made in order to stop this. And it's a heavy burden, and it's a heavy, it's 2 swords. It's almost like an either or, whatever that might be. But Vladimir, I'm also wondering too, he has about as much control over the war as anybody else. It's Putin's war. And so there's really no decisions that he can make other than whatever he can use, whatever other resources that he has, that he receives, keep pleading for more help. But this is also, I'm thinking this is definitely more personal. Should he stay or should he go? I think he's chosen to stay. But there's a lot of there's a lot riding on either decision. If he decides to stay in the Ukraine, he's at a big risk, and he's really at a big risk now. He has been, but he's at a real big risk of taken into custody and probably murdered. I don't think that Putin will have any time for him, maybe in his own sick way, maybe torture him better or whatever. Or should he leave? He has family too. Hopefully they have left. And it's probably bothering him also that he has to leave his family behind. And also his family, his Ukraine family, the citizens, if he so chooses, if that's the thought, in order to keep him safe. So he is definitely weighing both options every minute of every single day for his safety. But I believe that he's going to stay for as long as he possibly can to help support people of Ukraine. Unfortunately, we're in a time period of internet and social media and stuff, so there are ways of him being able to communicate to his to his people, but I think this Two of Swords is representing his feeling of as far as whether he should stay in the country or he should leave. So let's get some clarifiers on them. And the first one, well, here's the hero coming home after war or after a big battle. Everyone is looking at him as a hero. Either way, if he decides he was going to leave the country, there's probably people begging him to leave so to keep him safe. But they are already looking at him as being a hero to them. So whatever he decides to do, he will have a hero's welcome coming home. So to me, it's we still have a couple more clarifier cards, but if he were to leave, he would still be considered a hero coming back into the country when it's safe and when probably the war is over. But unfortunately, here's a Tower moment, and perhaps something has to make the war stop. Something has to make it end, and which is really it's Putin. This is the Tower card, so there's a Tower moment coming in the future, which is going to hasten the decision of whether to stay or go. And in the past are the Ten of Wands, which means the heavy burden, and I'm not looking at it as a heavy burden for him running the country. It's just now, okay, they're in war now, he's carrying a heavy burden of trying to keep as many people protected and keep his people safe and try to get as much supplies and whatever as he possibly can. And this came out before this, but for him to come home, your hero is welcome. And then there's a Tower moment. Tower moment is the sudden shock, sudden change in circumstances. And I'm looking at the Tower moment as being something that's going to totally change the trajectory of the war itself. And it symbolizes the end. So hopefully it means the end of the war. But it doesn't necessarily have to be, the Tower moment doesn't have to be as mean and as scary or symbolize as mean or as scary as it looks, like the downfall of somebody, or it's not implying death, but it implies the end, the change, the shake-up that's needed in order to get everything back to normal, to end the same old, and to start fresh. And I'm thinking that the Tower moment is the end of the war. This is what shakes up the war. This shakes up what we're currently seeing, but the Tower also means like a complete change too. So it's for good or better or worse. Whatever the situation is, it's going to end. So in my mind, what that would suggest is that we're in a war right now. And the war is going to end. That is that's how I'm taking this card. So currently he's being looked upon as a hero. The war ends, and let's see the third clarifier card. This is the Queen of Swords, and she's hold no prisoners. She's it's like with the Two of Swords. The decisions, the truth. It's a thought. It's something that has to be decided. And now with the Queen of Swords, there has been a decision. She tells it like it is. She puts her foot down, and she communicates. Okay, what Tower moment is, and she communicates the truth. She's looking to the sky and literally like fingering the sword, as if like, okay, I've got you. She symbolizes protection, knowledge, logic, which would come after something like a war, an election that we finally vote out somebody that had no business being in office to begin with. But this is the clarity. She is the clarity. She is showing exactly everything. Everything is coming to light as far as what happened. She's also probably not delivering. She doesn't deliver. She states, as well as the King of Swords. They state that what happened to cause the Tower moment, for the change, for the end. This is logic. This is stabilization after something chaotic. This is reminiscing and wishing for the best. This is hard work. This is a difficult decision. But this is how Zelensky is being regarded right now by everybody across the world. This terror is the change. This is the end. This is and sword is truth, and the truth shall come out. And the way I'm looking at this, although people are looking at Zelensky now as the hero, and here's the Tower moment. It could be his Tower moment too. And then, which would make it brings the protector, the mother of swords, out to fiercely defend. Because with swords, I mean, even though they represent air and everything like that, you think of a sword, what is a sword used for? It's for defending, it's for fighting. And since this came after the hero, I kind of wish it came before and then the hero comes home. But again, the tower moment is something that totally changes things, totally changes everything. It changes the trajectory, it changes what happens, how things are going to be handled now from that time period on. Some readers were saying that were feeling that it could end because of an accident, an accidental something or other being done, not meant to be, and then there's a deal made so Putin can exit the stage left quickly, and that's it. I'm looking at this as the end of the war, but as I'm talking this out, as I'm talking out the cards and seeing the placement of the cards too, I mean, he is in a lot of danger from now until the war is finally done. And then the Queen could definitely symbolize a coming together if something should happen to Zelensky, which is what thinking perhaps this tower really means. It's a change in the trajectory of the war. Hopefully it's just something as easy as, okay, it's ending, but there's got to be something that there's some kind of trigger, and the tower is a big trigger. It's like an explosion. And then the Queen of Swords comes in to protect and shine a light and tell the truth and bring everybody together. Let me get one more clarifier. This is Eight of Cups walking away. It's a loss. It's walking away from from a situation. All is lost. And it could be metaphorically that he's walking away, maybe in death. He has to leave because he's being called to leave. This is disappointment, but I can't see Zelensky walking away. He wouldn't walk away unless he died. That's the only reason why he would leave. That's my feeling. This is for entertainment purposes only, and it's only my opinion. But perhaps if he should die in this tower moment, and it summons the Queen of Swords for everyone to unite and fight harder, protect Ukraine, and this would be not just Ukraine, this would be everybody, this would be the whole world, and I think it would change the total flavor of the war, even though NATO is trying to avoid nuclear war at all costs. I think that would be the match that was lit to cause a tower explosion. And at this point in time, it wouldn't be them walking away. Who's walking away? Is it Putin walking away from this? It's not Zelensky. This is disappointment. It's unhealthy environment which they're turning back on. Could it be Russia? Could it be the people of Russia? Especially if Zelensky gets is killed, is murdered, is captured and murdered. They're just walking away from what it is that they currently have, and they're just going and they're searching for something different. One more, and then here's the world. Okay, thank God. This is turning your back on something that was there. It's no longer suiting you. Okay, which could be Russian people saying, okay, no, we're not taking this crap anymore. And here's the world coming together for Zelensky, coming together for Ukraine, even more so. This also means success. This also means dreams fulfilled. Whatever you are seeking, you shall have. I wonder if Zelensky will be a martyr. Will end up being a martyr of this war, and is what ultimately takes down Putin. It's like that's the jolt. Unfortunately, that would take down Putin for this war to end. I hope not. I hope I'm wrong. I'm hoping that this tower just means it's just the end of the war. But then you have somebody here walking away. And if it was read differently, this was the world shows support. When I was first thinking about this, and I was meditating before I came on, I still don't feel it, that he's going to die. But I also have to look at what the cards are reading or telling me, and I can't just color it like, oh, this is the way. I'm seeing two possibilities. The way I was first going with this, but the Queen of Swords is like, she looks like someone that's awakened, like someone, like, not woke the beast up, I don't want to call her beast. Sorry. But had made her come alive, had made her come into this reading. So there can be discussion, there could be logic, there could be a coming together of minds, and the Queen being the motherly, maternal factor for solace. And the turning away, this would mean, I think that would be, and the heck with the sanctions. I mean, we can sanction away Russia, but I think also the people are going to be just total. I think, yeah, the people of Russia, as we're hearing, there are a lot of people that are very against the war. They're attacking their own brothers and sisters. And Russia is a huge country. But and we're getting our news from our sources, which, we're not getting it. We're not getting from Russia. Our news sources are pretty objective for the most part. Depends on what it is, but for the most part. But we can't. We're not going to be able to really find out unless we're getting news funneled from people or from soldiers that were in the war or whatever, saying that people are fed up with Putin. They don't like this, but this is a country. These are countrymen attacking their own fellow countrymen, and their families and friends. And this is them turning away from it. They're like they've had enough. And by turning away and not giving Putin power anymore, in the end, things will be different. Things will be for the better. I wish this tower came before the hero welcoming home. But if you follow what I mean, it doesn't. If he were to die, it will enrage the Ukrainian people even more, even the world, and they will not fold because he dies, because they wouldn't allow that. But yeah, I'm not. I'm not getting good feeling from this read as far as his circumstances, though. Maybe it's something that I'm just wishing for, that he does survive. So this is based on what the cards are saying or what the energies are saying right now at this moment in time, and his life is definitely in danger. It has been since the beginning, but as Putin gets more and more frustrated and upset and angry, the hunt and search and destroy will probably get even more feverish. So maybe I'll revisit this maybe in a month, if hopefully he's still alive. If he's still alive within next month, that'll give me more hope, but I'll revisit it at a later time. And hopefully between now and that later time, there's no issue anymore. So I hope that you enjoyed the reading, even though it's not something that we want to hear or even think about too. This definitely could be off. I could definitely be misinterpreting these cards, because it could say so many things. But you can read it in so many ways, but it's just the way the layout comes out. That's my conclusion, that Zelensky is not going to survive this. But hopefully I'm wrong. Thank you very much for watching, and I will talk to you all later. Bye-bye.